Hey y'all, how you perking? I hope you're perking good. So, part 2 of the year-long 2023 predictions video. We are here, part 2. If you haven't seen part 1, back out of this video and go to the video listing on my channel. I hopefully will have a link either in the description box or a pinned comment of the video link for the part 1, but if I for some reason forget or don't seem to have it there, then go back to the channel, click out of this, and look at my video lineup. You will see part 1. Watch that starts us off here in the predictions. This is a part 2. This was so long, so much stuff that we needed to cover that there was no way I was going to be able to put it into one video and not lose some people. People were going to be like, wow, I don't have this kind of time to watch all this crap. But I didn't want to just edit things out and not give y'all a lot of information, because if there's a lot of information to give, I want you to have it. I don't want to just talk for 15 minutes and give you like a quick little overview. I want to get you some nitty gritties. I want to get you some information. So check out the part 1. This is part 2. I am a licensed mental health clinician as well as a spiritual and intuitive, and in these videos we take a look at the tea with the tarot, which is what we're going to do right now. Let me go ahead and pull up these cards and move this microphone right here. We are all dressed the same because we are all filming this literally right after I closed out the first video. I can film it all at the same time. That's fine. It's just that I don't know that people are going to have the ability to watch it all at one time. And so I want to break it up here, make it a little bit easier, make it a little bit more digestible for people. So this is all alleged, just my interpretation. Okay, this is all alleged, just my interpretation. Last time we poured into looking at predictions globally, internationally, around politics and around the economy and finances and things like that. And now we're going to start to segue and take a look at the category for health and wellness, see where that takes us, and then we're going to open it up as a catch-all for what else do we need to know, spirit guides and light beings, anything else that goes under any category that we haven't yet talked about, anything else that we could know. Usually that would be done on the Perk Squad, but I'm going to leave that open for everybody this time. However, in the future, if you want videos like that kind of cover everything else, all the nitty gritties that we could possibly know about other things that don't make it to these videos, if you want to get those and not miss out, you can join the Perk Squad with the blue join button below or the link in the description box. Becoming a member of the Perk Squad, you can get all these different perks, so that being one of them. Also weekly forecasts, so that you can know what's coming up every single week. Cute little Penelopes of your own by your name, little emojis and stuff that nobody else has access to, and video shout outs like this one. Shout out to you, Christine Covey. Shout out to you. Hope your eyeballs don't freeze over. I say that because Christine lives in Alaska. And I could never. We all tell I live in a warm climate. We all tell. But shout out to you, Christine Covey, and thank you for being a member of the Perk Squad. We're happy to have you here. So let's dive right on into this and start taking a peek at health and wellness. What do we need to know about health and wellness this year, 2023 spirit guides? Woo, okay, we got some things that fell out. Oh, there's 2 here. All right, these fell out first. Let's just take them. It feels like it needs to go this way. I don't know that it really matters, but it felt like it, so I'm going to do it that way. Alrighty, so what we're taking a look at here. I am not too worried about this guy right here. I get that it's the devil card, but it's in the reverse position here, which is actually a good sign. This is kind of falling out of some of the chains that have bound us for a while. So this feels like we're going to have some health breakthroughs, if you will. We're going to have some insights. That's what this Ace of Swords stands for. It's like clarity, new directions, charging forward with some new energy and new light. And so it seems like some of those old dark chapters around health and wellness are going to close and some bright new ones are going to open. Sure, when that Devil card comes up in reverse, there can be some residual stuff that comes from that. We might find out some more things about some crap that's happened in the past that wasn't good. We might find out about how things were mismanaged, or how decisions were made for, selfish reasons, or political reasons, or financial reasons, or self-serving reasons that frustrate us to feel like, hey, we suffered in that kind of a way so that you could feel like you were the king of the castle and deal with these kinds of, shitty people that you can't trust and that are in on it with you. And we had to suffer because y'all wanted to have that. Like, we might have more of those moments in terms of reflecting back on what has already happened, and we're processing like our anger and disgust and our feelings around that. That is very likely to come out in 2023. But in terms of how health and wellness moves forward, we're looking at some good things here. We're looking at some good things. It looks like we don't have some, horrific things on the horizon in terms of health and wellness, that a lot of that struggle is kind of in the rearview mirror. So I want to look into more on those ideas, the new things coming up, kind of what we're looking at now moving forward. We're going to get rid of the rearview mirror for a second here. We're going to be looking forward. So what's in the windshield? We want to see that instead. Let's take a peeky peek. A peeky peek. Alrighty. So what we're seeing here. Interesting. Since we're talking about health and wellness, here we go with the medical caduceus symbol that happens to stand for like literally health and wellness. So we're seeing that right there. So we're seeing a lot of people pay more attention to their health and wellness. People like, how do we put this? We might see that those, like those YouTube channels that are all about like fitness and health and wellness, those might get boosted in 2023. Those Instagrams where people are like, look at me on my health journey, I'm doing all of this stuff and I'm, losing weight and improving my cardiovascular health in the process. And now, by virtue of going through that process, I'm no longer suffering from diabetes or hypertension or, stuff like that. Like seeing people's wellness journeys, it looks like we're going to be seeing people post about those things more, having more of that happen because we're having a higher interest in the idea of health. See that moving forward very quickly here. Chariot card's always about that fast movement here going forward. Speaking of that example, I don't usually get hung up on little details. It happens sometimes if things come to my mind, I say it, just like y'all know. If I see it, I say it. If something pops in my head, I say it. And so speaking of that example where people are having their journey of, what did I say? I said like losing weight, diabetes, hypertension, falling away, improving, getting better, things like that. It feels like literally that kind of a thing is coming up because the reason why I go there is this Three of Cups in reverse. This is like for a sad moment, just kind of be real and honest here. It's kind of a bit of a downer moment here that we are going to lose some people that we think of as friends, whether they are actual friends in our life or whether it's like the parasocial relationship where, we watch this YouTuber or this Instagrammer or this TikToker all the time and we feel like, I feel like I am connected with them some kind of a way and they feel like a friend even if they don't know who I am or whatever, and I just watch them, suffer from something or struggle with something or God forbid pass on for something health related on their journey, and that's hard to watch or whatever. Like more and I'm so not trying to sound some type of way as I say this. I hope y'all can take this with the energy in which it's intended to be delivered, but like more passings related to complications with obesity in 2023. And we will see this play out in the people that we tend to watch, that we look at. We see them on their journey. They may be on a journey of trying to get healthy. They may be on a journey of, body positivity and trying to just feel good in the body that they're in. But the complications that come up as a result of systems being strained from having to deal with the things that can sometimes come with obesity, that claims a lot of people's health and a lot of people's lives in 2023, and that we might see that play out more than we have in recent years. So, sorry to put a bit of a Debbie Downer type of vibe on that. But I do see that kind of a thing playing out here in the year. So, saying what I see, saying what comes into my mind, and, that's here. So we're putting that out there. On the positive hand, on the positive side, again, with that Queen of Swords, just like how we had that Ace of Swords a while ago, talking about the innovations and smart people having great ideas and bringing that to the table. I see that presenting itself here. And with the cups in reverse by it, sometimes that's like referring to, this is not knocking Western medicine, because I feel like we need all the help from all the different approaches that we can get sometimes. But it does show that people are going to be less satisfied in some ways with some things that are happening in Western medicine, and that they would be looking emotionally for something that feels more holistic, more wholesome, more addressing their whole self in all the ways, and less, about symptom management and more about, again, the whole. Not that you can't address that through Western means, because you absolutely can. And I am, again, not wanting us to throw that to the wayside. I think that they're like, let's pull it all together. Western, Eastern, every freaking direction, pull it all together. But it does look like there will be a bit of an uptick in 2023 around that idea. What can meet me as a whole? So people might be more open to, like how I do Reiki Energy Healing. People might be more open to that in 2023. People might be more open to things like craniosacral healing or music therapy, sound therapy and healing, all kinds of different types of things that people wouldn't have thought about before. People might find, better uses for things like essential oils, instead of just being like, oh, let me just grab any one that contains God knows what in it and just shove it in a water diffuser or something. Like, let's think about ways that this could actually, be helpful and useful in some kind of a way, and doing an aromatherapy approach or something. And so taking ideas that would normally be like really woo-woo, but trying to find ways to base some of those ideas in what we can, show for it in reality, anecdotal evidence, maybe even some people will actually do some studies on this, and allow this stuff to be studied in a actual, good faith way, so that people can see things that work or don't work. But people will be more open to exploring that, to at least hear it out, look into it, see what helps them personally. And, if certain things don't seem to be providing benefit, okay, put it to the side. Let's look for something that can provide a benefit. And again, not doing this to the detriment of other healing modalities and pushing them aside, but bringing it all together, using it all together, supplementing the kind of healthcare that they already get with this to add a 1-2 power punch to it type of thing. And I'm seeing that openness play out in a big way. Maybe some of this goes a little bit more mainstream than it has in the past. And maybe there are certain success stories that kind of go viral a little bit that it hadn't in the past. Again, in a way that a mainstream approach could be more open to it than usual. So it looks like there will be an uptick in kind of being open to all kinds of healing modalities for health and wellness, and other innovations as well. This could mean like, oh wow, we got this great new medication made, or this great new, I don't know if we're even allowed to say the V word, so I'm going to say poke, that works really well. Or we've gotten this, great new technology to be able to scan people or test people for certain issues or disorders or things that maybe run in the family, and to screen them for it or something like that. Like, I'm seeing those kinds of advances and innovations that are really helpful this year, and that people really start thinking about their own health and wellness more. Like, it used to not be as much of a thing, and now it just feels like it's the cool thing to do, is to focus on that and, go forward from there. So I see a lot of emphasis on that in a very positive way. Anything else on health and wellness, spirit guides, that we need to see here? Anything else on health and wellness? Y'all, I'm telling you, there's something in the air about this. I don't know what it is. I don't know why it is, but literally, and I'm not kidding, because they know who they are if they're watching this video. There have been literally three, in the last, how many weeks? I'm going to count. 3 people in the last, I'm genuinely counting. Okay, 2 weeks, literally, only 2 weeks. There have been 3 people in the last 2 weeks who, in my private readings with them, in our private sessions, cards have come up and brought up the idea of pregnancy or motherhood or some kind of mothering energy, or the idea of fertility or things like that. And here we're seeing the Tower card representing big internal changes, because it's in reverse, big internal changes. Sometimes the Ace of Wands is our phallic symbol, which is how life comes to be inside a person. Okay. And so, quite literally an impregnating card sometimes. That idea has come up in 3 different private readings in the last 2 weeks alone. And I thought that was like, oh, that's uncanny. That's unusual for that to happen that often in that short of a time. And here we go, seeing it in the health and wellness category here, literally again. And so I don't know what that means. I don't know what's going on. Maybe this is a big year for babies with 2023. For those of us who don't want that, Justice card here. First of all, balancing the scales. So balance your scales. If you don't want that, take whatever precautions you need to balance your scales so that you can make sure you're in good order if you don't want that. And 2, the Justice card, I can't help but to think about the fact that the Roe v. Wade thing happened last year, and people have gotten scared about potentially being fertile or getting pregnant because they're scared about their options. And so the good thing is that we can, try our best to take more physical accountability for all of ourselves to see how we can, feel empowered to help ourselves. But on the not so good end, that means that even if people do try, sometimes accidents do happen. Literally, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. A friend from high school, after we had graduated high school, and she was married, she wound up pregnant with twins after using 2 different forms of contraceptives together. Like she would always use both things, and still it happened. Sometimes things like that happen even if you're trying to double up and double protect, and so that can be intimidating for a lot of people. And so a lot of people are in a hurry to try to find out, well, there's got to be something that can be done, some sort of amendments, exemptions, or what's the word people are saying, codifying, whatever. Like, there's got to be stuff that's done. And so it looks like it's a possibility that this naturally happening kind of doubles down on this conversation at a more public level, just because of the occurrences here. So we might see that conversation grow even louder. We might see some things playing out with that is at the forefront. And the positive form of this is that if this is a year that you're really hoping that this does happen for you, because in your family planning, that's what you want, there may be some good energy this year for it. Okay, there may be some good energy here for it. If you're kind of on the fence, don't really care either way, you might end up with it this year. Okay, so just so you know, your world might get rocked this way. But it's crazy that that's come up so many times in private readings in just such a short amount of time, and now I'm seeing it play out here. So it must be a theme for everybody. So we're just throwing it out. Okay, just throwing it out here. Take it for what you will. Do with that with what you want. If that's good information to you, if that's scary information to you, plan accordingly either way. Because I'm seeing that here, and that is uncanny. So, okay, let me pull this up and we'll go to our final category, because we are already more than 20 minutes into this one now, Lord help. So we will go to our final category, which is our catch-all category. So where we're going to be asking the guides, what else, if anything, can we know about whatever? Anything that did not already get covered under the previous conversations and topics that we have had from the first video and this second one. What else can we know? Should we know? Do we need to know? Yada, 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 yada. Okay. What else? Alrighty. And again, reminding everybody, if you'd like a private reading with me, then you can always go to my website, BeasTalksAndTarot.com, to schedule a private reading with me. You can also schedule Reiki Energy Healing if you want a tune-up, a cleansing, a clearing, an assessment of how things are going in your body, mind, and spirit. We can do that. If you'd like some life coaching to feel like, okay, let me get on it. New year, new me. Let's figure this out. Let's do something with this year. We can talk about that, get you on track. And if you'd like to have some tarot tutoring to learn to read the cards the way I do, then we can do that too. So BeasTalksAndTarot.com, we got it all. Alrighty, so our catch-all. What do we need to know, spirit guides? What else can we know about the entire year of 2023? What can we know? What do we see here? Okay. With the exception of this one card, this doesn't look great. Let me get situated here. Okay. Just saying what I see. Something's got to give. We are really shooting ourselves in the foot here with this, this is not in balance. This is out of balance. This has gone too far. Again, with the exception of this one good card, we are not working on this the way that we need to work on this, and the wheels are turning and it's not turning in the direction that we want. Y'all, there's something going on here. I want to see what the theme is kind of pertaining to, if I can get some sort of, intuitive inclinations of, ooh, okay. Alrighty. Okay, we're going here. Again, we get the Tower card. So, big things happening. The Heartbreak card, things that it's heartbreaking to watch, and this Queen of Swords, like we knew better type of energy. When I'm seeing these things kind of play out, and again, we'll get to this guy. When I'm seeing these things kind of play out, what it's giving me, and again, I'm an intuitive reader. I say what I get, I say what comes through. It's been working for me. I've got proof playlists, my track record's pretty good. This is feeling like, like the stuff that's been going on in the world around like ecology and climate and animal species and, the whole 9 yards. Like, we knew something's got to give with taking care of our world, our earth, the best way we can. We've been doing things that are self-sabotaging decisions. We are doing things that are out of balance. We've not been working on it the way that we needed to, and now we're on a roll in a direction that we didn't want to see. It's going to cause some big changes here, some heartbreaking changes, and we knew better. That's what it's kind of coming up for me. So whether that means that things that have come up in our world are coming up and it's damaging some stuff, and it's because we didn't control this well enough, or we didn't regulate that well enough, or we didn't take a look at this well enough, whatever. It could come from, destroying forests or something, or it can come from emitting too many, bad types of gases that mess up people's breathing air or messes up, whatever. I don't know. I'm not, an expert in that type of stuff, so I'm not going to use expert words. I'm just a girl reading cards. Translate it the way that you know how to read it from whatever expertise you have. But it looks like that kind of a thing. It looks like it could be damaging some of the animals. It looks like it could be damaging some of the lands. It looks like by damaging the animals, the lands, and some of the waters, there's going to be some things that come back on us that we are going to deal with or suffer through or suffer from because we have not adequately taken as much care as we needed. So we're going to see some struggle bus times with that in 2023 because of our neglect, unfortunately. Now, our positive guy over here, I love that they put that down here, because in the midst of all this bad stuff, our positive guy is a good omen of hope. This is a good card to say, hope is not lost. All is not lost. We might end up having to go, around our ass to get to our elbow kind of thing. But we can still get there. We can still do something. And so it looks like there might be chances to have like really great advancements and innovations around like energy and clean energy and breakthroughs, like, hey, here's a breakthrough of one thing that we can do to help solve this problem. Here's a breakthrough of ways that everybody can play their part. Here's a breakthrough of something that we've scientifically been studying, and we've been hoping that it would come to fruition and hoping that we could harness this some type of way that we could meaningfully use it. And now we have the puzzle pieces in place to really start putting this together. I'm seeing that here playing out. And so once again, good things coming from shitty circumstances. So the message here is not a good look, but there is hope. We just have to pay attention to whatever it is and try to move forward with that, you know. Could be as simple as all of us just trying to recycle, you know, doing what we can with that. Or, you know, all of us just looking up, hey, what are some things we can do to take care of our environment and do our part? Like, oh, are there certain flowers that I need to plant that can make some bumblebees come around? And, you know, then the bumblebees will start to help pollinate things because I planted this certain thing. Is my camera fixing to die? If my camera's fixing to, yep. Okay, so I think it's very interesting and noteworthy that literally as I was talking about the planet and animals and ecology and things like that croaking, my camera croaked. So what an interesting analogy, metaphor, whatever the hell it is, synchronicity that happened. I can't make this up. That literally happened. Y'all saw me down here with my hands. Why would I turn off the camera? I don't even know. I just looked up the screen. The viewfinder was black, and I was like, that don't look good, is it? Okay then. So let me hurry this up. I've already been going for a half hour. My camera apparently is like, hey, chop. I tried to fan it off with the Peter Mine fan. Let's see if I can do it. I apparently cannot. Let me try it again. There we go. Every time I can't seem to do it. I don't know why it takes me so many tries. But thank you again, Nikki, for sending me that fan to my P.O. box. I have enjoyed that. And it helped to get us back online here. So anywho, y'all get the point. You get the picture. Let's figure out what it is that we can do. 2023, ripe for this energy for us to take these challenges and turn it into a positive. So let's jump on that. We're going to see that. Any last words that we can see here from all of this, spirit guides? I know we've been going on and on forever. I know my camera's had it. Any last things that we can take a look at to tie a bow around this reading for all of 2023? So, oh man. So what they're bringing up here, there will be a continuance of government issues that relate very strongly to things financially. We're just going to call a spade. And that's going to continue to put us at a weakened position. This is something that people in power are doing. So once again, we're seeing this theme, people in power, money, putting us at a weakened position. The star card is like, yeah, there needs to be some endings to that. And we're going to try to work on how to find a place for that. So it looks like as there are disagreements about things, about ways that governments are spending their money and how powerful people are allowing that to continue. There's going to be some conversations around that where we are revisiting that and trying to make something of that. So with that being said, where can we expect that to kind of go? Okay, Hermit card, kind of people keeping to themselves, trying to stop the flow of money around that, feeling like literally it's not okay. Judgment card, like, come on, we have to call it. We have to say it's Judgment Day. It's time for this to stop. It's time for us to kind of change from one platform to another platform with this, one thing to another, and we've got to figure out how to do this. And so it looks like you can't help but to think of Ukraine and Russia and things like that going on. It looks like there's going to be some more pressure towards that coming to an end. It looks like there are going to be some governments that strongly resist that coming to an end. There are financial things at play for that to be prolonged because they want it to be prolonged for some financial reasons. Don't know what that's about, but just seeing that in there. But I see some kind of like, hey, we've got to play in our own sandbox and stop trying to hop over to other people's sandboxes, and this judgment day. So there's this kind of a judgment day coming ahead. There's something in 2023 that feels like, okay, this is a deciding factor on how we handle this moving forward, because literally this is the straw that breaks the camel's back. This is the deciding factor. This is where we figure out, you know, are we going hard? Are we going home? Are we trying to change over, like potentially negotiating, things like that? And so I see a lot of that energy coming to some sort of a head in terms of trying to not draw that out for forever. Now, y'all know in my previous readings on that literal subject, I said from the start, I said all these other countries are not going to want to get into it. They're going to want to stay out. They don't want to have, you know, use NUKES and stuff, all these other countries. So we're trying to not go that route. And I said this was going to keep on for a long time. And it already has been a long time. And so I see it continuing to go for too long. But I do see some kind of pressure around these conversations coming up, people calling out things that relate to money or things that seem out of place that should be called into account. And I see those issues being raised a little bit more on the forefront than they have in the past. So it's going to be interesting to see that play out, because again, we're dealing with polarity here. We're dealing with sides that thinks it's really, really good that we continue to help out to the bitter end, and sides that are like, listen, this has got to stop now. And they don't see eye to eye. And so that's going to be hard to get to that point, but I see it just being lifted up, the conversation on a higher level, more voices in the room about it, more pressure around it, and something that happens that catalyzes the, okay, figure it the hell out now. I'm serious, figure it the hell out. Like something that catalyzes a moment like that in 2023. So, y'all, as you see, we could go on forever and ever and ever and ever and ever on all of this. We could go on for ages, but we've already been on for ages. This is already 2 videos worth of content about 2023. As usual, we will continue to do updates every single month. What's coming up in February 2023? What's coming up in March? So we're going to do this month by month. Perk Squad folks get week by week for what to look forward to in our own lives and know kind of what we're going to be going through personally. Just there's a lot here. So again, if you want to be a member of the Perk Squad, blue join button below or link in the description box. A lot of things for you. Anything else that you want, my website, we got it all. The readings, the Reiki Energy Healing, the life coaching, the tarot tutoring. And I'll be coming here back at you with some more videos soon. And we've got this. I'm going to give my poor little camera a break, and I'm going to give my puppies a potty break, because I hear them ting-ting-tinging around in there, and I don't know what's going on, and sometimes if your puppies are too quiet, you wonder. So stay tuned for a B-roll coming at you, some more shenanigans coming at you, and don't be a stranger. Come back and see me, and I will talk at you later. Bye, y'all. We're giving her a bath by putting peanut butter in all of in Teddy's slow bowl and all those nooks and crannies and points. So we put just little dabs of peanut butter in all of those points in Teddy's bowl. And I'm holding it up while she's in her bath so that she'll let her daddy bathe her without trying to turn around and lick her shampoo. We do not want her ingesting that. She's really busy. Good job, Busy. Good job.